Hi guys, welcome to the Beauty Owl, previously known as Beauty Explicit. This is going to be our first video on the new web channel and I'm really excited about it. This is going to be, as you can see, a little bit of a rose gold look. Something different than what I normally do, so I really hope you guys enjoy it. I'm going to be using an E.L.F. palette that I got a while ago that I haven't used in any of my videos, so really hope you guys like it. Gonna be using my first MAC product in one of my videos, so that I got from one of my friends. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and let me know what you guys think. So here we go. Alright, so first we're going to go ahead and get started with our primer, and I'm going to use my Bare Vitamins one that I usually use until I get rid of it. Whoa, big glove right there. I'm going to go ahead and do this first because lately I've had my cyanoid redness stuff kind of come off when I've done that first before my primer, which, I mean, you can kind of do stuff whatever you like, but when it starts affecting your makeup or how it stays on, you're going to want to switch it up a little bit. So, push the hair back a little bit there for now. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to go in with my cyanoid redness and get some of my red spots. That marks from my glasses. Love glasses. Go in and blend it out a little bit. I might just go over here and get some of that. Actually, here we go. There we go. And sometimes on the darker spots I do like to go in with my concealer. This is my E.L.F. and just dab over just a tad bit more just to help hide it just a little bit better. And there we go. Alright, now I'm going to go in with my BB cream, which is E.L.F. and this is in Fair, of course, going super pale. And I'm going to use this and dot this on with my finger. My lid almost came off there. Oop, that would have been bad. Made a mess. I'm going to try and do this as evenly as possible because I'm using, I'm not going to be using my beauty blender, or I don't have a beauty blender, but my sponge for this as I normally do. There we go. And then I'm going to come in with my lid back on that. This. Ooh. Not as nice as some of the ones other people have, but I really like it just because it's soft and it doesn't tug on my skin as much as my off-brand beauty blender does. I just really like it because it's so soft and so gentle. Oh. This is even off-brand, but can't wait to get some on-brand ones because I bet they're even better than this one. And it blends really well too. Surprisingly, yeah, honestly. Sometimes I like to keep doing it just to make sure it's really in there and just because it's really soft. So, there we go. And right there needs a little bit more, I think. There we go. Okay, and then next I'm going to be using a new product that I just got. It's the NYX Wonder Stick. It's took me forever to get my hands on this one. It seems like whenever I go to any of the makeup stores, this one's always sold out because I obviously need it in light, and well, it's light to medium, but this always seems to be sold out. So finally got my hands on it. I only used it a couple times, but I really like it so far. So I'm going to go ahead and use it. That went a little high. That's okay, I'll blend it down. And the other end is pointed, so that's a little easier to apply as well. And then I'll come back in and do the white strip down my nose to lighten it there a little better as well. And then for the dark, I'm going to go ahead and use the smaller blender. I feel like it just tugs a little bit less. I like that for the contouring aspect of this. And this one doesn't have reviews about being as ashy as in its shades as the other one I typically use, which I never really had that issue with the other one, but some people have, so you know. Everybody has their own problems with some products though, so, but I've not really had any problems with this one yet, and I really like it so far. But if you guys had any good experiences with this one or any other ones, let me know. I'm always looking for new contouring products to try. I really have fun with them. But who doesn't? They're just fun. Now that I've got that blended in there, I'm going to go back real quick and do my lightening here. I always feel like they don't blend quite right from me. And I'll go back in and do my nose. Boop, 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 boop. Nose, nose, nose. I don't typically do, but I'm starting to try it out just to see if I like it. Because I like my nose already, so I don't feel like I need to skinny it down that much. But I do typically do the lightening down the center. And I'll just go back with these. Spread out that lightening. There we go. And then I am going to take the sponge and go back and do the rest of the lightening. Okay. And then now that I've got that blended out, I'm going to go back in and do the under eye area. And since I don't have a really good under eye that I like, I'm just going to go ahead and use my complete coverage concealer, which I know it's not really what it's for, but I just like to use it for until I find one I like. I've heard that Maybelline has a good one, but I wasn't able to find one in my shade that I really liked. So if you guys have a good one that you like to use, let me know. I'm still looking for one that I want to try, or that I really like. I found a couple I didn't like, but this one seems to work okay for me so far. With the circles under my eyes. This brush is so tiny though. I think that's one of my most used products, I swear. I'll go back in. Make sure it's really well blended in. I don't want any creases. There we go. Alright, now I'm going to go in with my my powder and let my setting powder and let it set. I don't have a designated brush for that yet, so I just use this one. Love this stuff, especially when you get it in your eyes. I feel like sometimes I do not need this stuff. I am pale enough already. There we go. Alright, let that sit for a little bit. That one. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead, get my hair out of my face again, make sure it's good. I'm going to go ahead and do my eyebrows while that sets a little bit, just because I don't want my eyebrows, when I go back in and do my eyebrows later, to get in the way of my eyeshadow look. I'm going to go ahead and get started on that. And because this stuff tends to get kind of heavy on this brush, right, it's E.L.F. as well, their eyebrow. I like to start in the middle after I brush it out, of course. There we go. Just to make sure I don't get too much right in the front, because I can always brush it out if it gets too much in the middle. See how I messed up right there? See, if I had done that with my eyeshadow on, that might have messed it up. I may have done that eyebrow a little too dark, but that's okay. We will brush it out a little bit and hopefully even that out. There we go. And when my hair comes down, it'll look better, because it's got that darker end bit in my hair. There we go. And then I'll come back with my complete coverage and do the lining of the eyebrows on the outside. There we go. This side does not want to point. There we go. That's better. There we go. Okay. Now that I've got that done, I'm going to go in with my beauty blender and get rid of that powder. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and go in and do our bronzer and blush before we start the eyes. So, I'm going to be using the Balm's Bahama Mama. This is from Ipsy. It's one of their little test ones. Look how tiny it is. And then I'm using a brush from, if I drop it, from Bare Minerals. It's really good for this. This makes it hard though to get it on your brush because it's so little. There we go. I'll just go around my face again. Leave my brows a little bolder than I normally do. There we go. And then I'm going to be using a new blush brush I got from Ipsy, and it's from Luxie. And I'm going to be using it with my Too Faced Pinch My Petals. And I really don't want to do anything too dark with this look because I really don't want it to draw away from my eyes. So I just really want something light on my cheeks. There we go. Kind of spread it out just a little bit. There we go. And then, last but not least, I'm going to put my highlighter on for this. And possibly blend that out a little more. Make sure the sides are the same way. Okay. And for that, I'm going to be using Wet n Wild's new Mega Glow highlighting powder, and this is Precious Petals. This is one of their newer products. Some of them look like the second time I've used it. Not really sure how I feel about it yet. It's got a really pretty color to it. It's pretty pigmented. It's pretty popular. It's at all of the Walgreens around where I live. It's been selling out pretty fast. So, and I thought I heard it was maybe limited edition, so that could be a thing as well. And this one I think would go well with somebody with darker skin as well, just because it does have a really pretty shade though. The darker one that I got as well, I thought looked a little bit better on me, but with this look, I definitely wanted to use the lighter shade. Get my Cupid's bow. There we go. And now onto the eyes. So I'm going to use my Shadow Insurance like always. I'm going to get that on there. And for this look, we're going to be using two things. We're going to be using E.L.F's palette called Nude Rosegold. And then we're also going to be using Max Pigment Gold Mode. And we are going to be using it wet, not dry. So we'll need some water for it. So for the first thing, we are going to, we are going to be using the fourth color over, which is this matte pink. And then next we are going to be using the fourth color to the bottom, which is a darker matte pink for the crease. And then we will be using this for the outer side of the lid, which is the fifth color over. It's a very sparkly pink. And then we will be using the first shade of white to lighten the eyes, and then the second shade over to kind of do a little highlighting at the top near the brow. So just a little quick overview of what we'll be using as I go. So the first brush I'm going to use is this one. It's my Sidonia Lice EB13 brush, and I'm just going to use it to spread that very light matte pink color all around my eyelid. I want to give this a very good base to start on. We don't want it sliding around. There we go. And then the other eye. And I know this brush is used for blending, but this is also awesome for doing like a base color. Really good for spreading that around. So now that that's on, I'm going to go back in with, this is a defining eye brush from E.L.F. and it's kind of got an angle on it. And I'm going to use that darker matte color to go in with the crease. And at first I'm just going to do just the crease like this. And then I'm going to do it like this way. to really get the inside of that crease. And then I'm going to take it, and I'm going to do it the other way. And I'm going to push it out to really pull that color out on to the outer side of my lid. There we go. And it's okay if if you go out a little bit, you can always go back out and clean it out, or you can use tape, whichever you prefer. I do myself use tape from time to time, especially when I'm doing a really messy look or just don't feel like I'm going to be good with my eyeshadow or my eyeliner that day. There we go. Okay, and then next I'm just going to take a really plain flat brush and take that sparkly pink. I'm going to start at the center of my lid and drag it out just at the center. And I want to get a really good base color there, even though I will come back in later and fill in a little more once I've got the gold mode on. And if you ever have trouble getting this color on, you can always do what I'm going to do next with the gold mode for right here. Just because there's already so many colors right here. It could help bring out the pigmentation a little more. Depends on what you prefer. I'm going to go back in on the crease of my eye, or on the very first part of my lid, with some of this to give the gold mode something a little more substantial to sit on, so that it doesn't pull away as much. There we go. Okay. So now we're going to need to get our brush wet for the gold mode, and I'm just going to be using a small brush because I want to make sure I have as much power over this stuff as possible, because it is the pigment, it is just pure powder, and it's just going to get everywhere if you're not careful with it. And I'd tip it over and show it to you, but I will literally spill it everywhere. So I'm going to get this the very tip of my brush wet to start with, as you can see. If you can see that, I don't know. Tip wet, and then we're going to dip that in our pigment. And then we're just going to go right over where we placed that. I'm going to bring it into the middle of the eye. And you can pick it more as needed and blend in as needed. You have to be careful with this stuff because it does tend to want to spread really easily, especially because it's so wet. Let me get my brush a tad bit wetter. This is also really fun to use if you do just a little bit on a bigger brush for highlighter. And since this is so wet, we're going to let it dry for a second. Just to make sure that it doesn't go completely everywhere. And now that's going to make sure you put your lid back on that, or you might knock it over, which I have done on occasion with less full ones, so luckily haven't made a mess with those. And then we're going to go back in with this brush and use that pink again to kind of blend that back out a little bit. To give it just a little bit more pigmented there on the outside as well. There we go. Okay, and then now that we got that done, we'll go with just in the very corner of our eyes with this light white to do a little highlighting, since we don't really have anything there. Gonna put a little color there, and then I'm gonna take this very big flat brush with that second color from the front to put in just a splash of sparkle up here because I love it. I love just a little glitter everywhere. And I'm also going to accent under here as well. There we go. Now we have that done, we can go ahead and continue to our eyeliner and our mascara. For that, I'm going to be using my E.L.F. Intense ink eyeliner. I don't think there's much. There we go. There we go. I'm going to make sure I have that all filled in before I go ahead and go in with my eyeliner, or my mascara. Which I'm going to be using my E.L.F. Lengthening and Volumizing Mascara. And you can always add a little more color down to the bottom if you want. For me, it kind of messes up with my contacts, so I don't typically do that. And then, so for the final touch, we're going to do our lips. And for this, I'm going to be using Laura Geller's Air Whipped lip wear, and this is in Mocha Mousse. Just going to put that on. Does that leave a spot on my face? Doesn't look like it, but I'm not sure. And then, last but not least, the touch for the lips. Just to give it that little extra rose goldy look, I'm going to add some more of the pigment to this. And then once again, I'm going to get my brush just a little wet, and I'm going to use a different brush. This is for lips. And stick it in the glitter. I'm just going to start tapping it on my lips. And there we go. You have the full look for this, and next we'll show you what it looks like with my hair down. So here we go for that. And here we have the final look. I hope you guys like it. Something a little different than what I normally do, so hope you guys enjoyed the first video on the Beauty Owl, and hope you guys look forward to many more. hopefully we'll be doing some more of those news videos. Hope you guys like those. If you don't, let me know so I'll stop doing them. I kind of think they're fun, so always out there, you know, looking out for whatever's newest and out in the, you know, news feeds on people's, you know, Instagrams, Twitter. So if you guys ever see anything new that you think I should know about, let me know. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you like and subscribe the video, and hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye guys.